My name's Adam Rodenberg. I'm the project coordinator for the Middle Cedar Watershed. It's part of the Iowa Watershed Approach project. We are here at the Wolfgram Wetland site in rural Tama County, approximately 6 miles west of the city of Traer. This wetland treats about 1,100 acres of upstream watershed, mostly row crop acres, and has a pool area of about 8 acres once it is filled up. As of right now, we just completed this project about a week ago, so there isn't water in it yet, but we'll be working on filling it up by next spring. This site does not have any special habitats around the pool area. On the downstream side of this wetland, we had stream mitigation requirements as part of the Army Corps of Engineers permit, which incorporates about an 1/8 mile buffer and stream bank stabilization project. This site was built on a cattle pasture and old farmstead property that is still intended to be grazed, and so we incorporated a lot of cattle fencing to keep cows out of the wetland and prevent them from getting injured or dying, getting stuck in the mud, those sorts of things. So the landowner is still able to graze cows in and around this site while protecting the wetland itself. Again, as part of the Iowa Watershed Approach, our main focus is flood reduction, and so this wetland follows a CREP design standard similar to the Jellison site, where we were trying to reduce the risk of flooding downstream. And so we were able to work with the adjacent landowner on this site to get a temporary easement to back water up during flood events, and then during normal flow, just a small portion of water would back up onto their land as well. So right behind me is a water control structure. Inside this tube is our stop logs, which you can control the water level for the wetland behind me. The main purpose of that is, one, to control water and help maintain the structure long term, and then also if there's any habitat manipulation or any sediment that needs to be removed over time, the landowner will have that ability to do so. It's very common with these types of wetland projects as far as a design feature. So this site was highly unique as the landowner that owns the property attempted to build a dam here approximately 30 years ago on his own. You can actually see it if you look at LiDAR imagery and aerial photography in the past. And so they had the right concept of what they wanted to do, but the magnitude of what they needed to do was a lot smaller. So when this project came along, they were very eager and excited to participate in this project. Again, similar to like the other site, we were able to acquire some additional outside funds to help cover landowner portion of the project. The Nature Conservancy and the Iowa Department of Agricultural and Land Stewardship all contributed funds to build this project. And then the landowner on a voluntary basis gave up a certain portion of her farm for, one, the pool and the buffer area below the embankment. And the purpose of these programs and these projects is for reducing flood risk downstream, but also improving water quality to the streams and downstream. The other site, similar to this site, where we had landowners that were very willing and eager to voluntarily participate in the project without receiving easement payments, which saved the project and the state a lot of money. And it's going to be very beneficial for everyone locally and then downstream as well. So both these projects have earthen embankments that are built to store water upstream. You are standing on one now. On the other site, at the Jellison site, it was under construction. Both embankments are roughly about 12 feet tall at the highest point and have a sheet pile spillway for normal flow to dissipate downstream. So when this site is filled, past that grouping of trees will be the top of the water line. It's very long and linear, and then when a flood of high magnitude reaches this site, water will actually almost get up to the gravel road about a half a mile away. This site is working right now. As soon as we have the embankment built, they essentially can function as a flood structure immediately after. So this site is fairly unique, as we had quite a few landowners in the immediate area participating. This is the largest structure in this drainage, this 1,100 acre drainage. Directly upstream from this site We constructed a pond last year with the adjacent landowner, and then another landowner, we constructed a wetland just a little bit further upstream that all drained down through here. So when we do go back to model flood reduction with the University of Iowa, we should be able to simulate fairly good numbers as far as flow reduction and flood benefit for downstream landowners.